I just got my daughter hooked up with them.
Yo, what's up, everybody? $10,000 Thursday in the house. My man, Doc Rannigan, and
the elusive Casey Ashmore. There he is.
The elusive Honorable Casey Ashmore. Hey, first off, welcome back, Mr. Casey. Glad to see you back from a hunting trip, safe and sound. You looking good. Doc, how was your week, brother?
Man, this week was outstanding. Like I can't tell you enough. So we had just a phenomenal week. We met with some great people last night, which we'll dive into a little bit here during this podcast. We got really great things on the horizon. We got some. What was the word of the day last night? Force multiplier.
That's a huge one, dude. I love that.
I tell you what, it was just it went off way better than I expected, and forever grateful for the people that showed up last night. And we're super excited about 2021 and what it has in store for businesses.
Casey, tell us about your hunting trip, brother. How'd it go?
Man, it went amazing. So
where'd you go?
I went to Kansas, way up on the Colorado border, not very far from Nebraska. So far western Kansas. We've got some really dear friends. We've been hunting on their property for I think about 12 years now, and they've got about 25,000 acres near Canzarado, Colorado, and it's beautiful and cold. And I took my son Matthew on his first hunt, and he was a champ, dude. He walked every walk, every hike. We walked every single one, and he got in on a little of the action. He got an assist, helping keep some birds in place so we could get them up and get the dogs.
Wait, so you use your kid as a bird dog is what you're saying?
You know what? I mean, he's a natural, man. He's a natural. He loved hunting.
We're going to turn him into a United States Marine is what you're telling me, right?
I think that's right, man. He's a natural hunter.
There you go. Well, man, hey, it's great to see you guys. The week has been amazing for all of us. And tonight we're going to talk about basically looking in the rear view of 2020. We started quarter four, if you remember, and the whole goal, the whole mission of the quarter four topics were to crush quarter four. So we have some outstanding statistics. I mean, just mind-blowing statistics from who's been involved with us this whole year and some of the things that they've accomplished. And we're going to stick around. I want you guys to stick around and watch this because it's going to blow your freaking mind. So, Doc, Casey, why don't you go ahead? Thank you again for all of the details here. As you all know, we plan these things out. We may spitball a little bit here and there, but we really do our homework to make sure we're providing good content. So, Casey, why don't you kick us off, my man?
Well, we got a member spotlight, and I gotta tell you, I feel like, a singer who just we got a little freeze, freezy freeze. Who is our member, and who are we spotlighting?
You know what? We kind of went through that last night, so we didn't really pick a member spotlight tonight. So we kind of let about 40 members spotlight themselves last night. So I think let's just jump into it.
Let's just jump in. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm a car guy. I love cars. I love speed. I love motorcycles. I love anything to do with motorsport. And if you don't know what a Duesenberg is, there's a saying we have in America because these cars were so unique, so one of a kind, that we have a saying called "That's a doozy." And 2020 has been all of that. And I'm telling you, man, if you've never seen a Duesenberg, there's one in the Smithsonian. The tires are the size of fire truck tires, man. These things are huge, right? I mean, they were meant to grab your attention. They're beautiful. They made an impression. And when people saw them, they said, we know that's a doozy. And that's definitely 2020, right? Because America and the entire globe have never seen anything like this. Not anything like this year in over a century, where we've got the world stopping for a second, right? I mean, it didn't stop spinning at 9.6 meters per second and mountains fly off into space and fish stop swimming, but the world stopped for a minute. The sun rose and set. The tides did their deal. The moon rose and set. The winds and the birds and the animals, but the people stopped moving, right? And if they were moving, it wasn't very many because the government was telling you, hey, slow down, stay at home, shelter in place. We got to figure this out. And, I don't know what you guys thought, but I like working. And if you think you've had a bad day at work, I'd like you to reflect back to March and think about a time when you couldn't work, right? Think about when you were told not to work. Don't go provide for your family because you're a liability out there on the street. And while there was a tremendous hardship in this year, 2020 has been full of gifts. And that's part of the Christmas season, the holiday season, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to look. I'm not a big rear view guy. I don't believe in looking where I've been. I focus on where I'm going. But this is the appropriate time and the appropriate topic.
Yeah, but I think it is good, and I'm 100% with you there as far as looking into the past and what was me and all that bullshit or whatever. But I think it is good to reflect. And when I labeled tonight 2020 in the rear view, it wasn't to say, hey, can we stay in 2020? No, absolutely not. It was more to talk about the gift of change, which is something that you put here. So in the middle of hardship, there have been the best gifts. And what you say here is, you remember, you can't lose if you never quit, and you either win or you learn. So that's something that we drill on. I mean, we're always talking about, we never lose, we learn. So Doc, why don't you take a little bit of the gift of change and talk about how the gift of change has worked and the people that you've seen in our group and some of the things like that.
Well, I mean, on that topic, I'm going to talk about for just a second this group right here, right? This group right here, these three knuckleheads, the Beard Brigade, whatever everybody likes to, all our haters make fun of us and our wives, right? They call us, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, right? Whatever they call us.
Whoa. Who calls us that?
Yeah, man. I heard that shit on
Michael.
We have to bust some knuckles with that one.
Yeah, he needs a knife hand. He needs a knife hand from Mr. Skinner. And they want to talk to you about Call of Duty because they so want to blow some stuff away on Call of Duty.
Bro. I'll shoot him up.
Yeah, Matt actually asked when he could get a minigun. No, he was like, "How old do I have to be to get a minigun?" But so from the panic of the COVID, right? And people have had to rise. They've had to become leaders. They'd have to come innovate and advocate. And this organization, these three, and I'm going to give a lot of street cred to you two because you guys pushed me out of my comfort zone. I was not on board with doing this every single week after week after week, because I was thinking, once a month, that's all we used to do, right? That's all we used to do was once a month. Why are we going to do more than that? This is great, and we should do it, but let's only do it once a month. And then, you know what? I started figuring out with that push from you guys that I had more time than I thought. Right? I used to, I'm so busy, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. You don't know what busy is, man. Why don't you get somebody to give you a push? Get yourself an Avengers team and see what they can do. See if they can make you Hulk up, right? Yeah. Hulk strong, Hulk smash. You think you're being pushed now? Get yourself a business alliance. Get some people to push your, expand. Yes, we can do this every week. And you know what, Casey? I don't care what else you got to do at 6 p.m., and that's 1,800 hours, Air Force. At 6 p.m., you're going to be on an RVBA Live every single week for the rest of the year, because this is what we got to do to keep this relevant. And, maybe that we had a little gift from the slowdown in time, that reevaluation, that paradigm shift, right? That pivot. Because one of the things is that quarantine did is that we had to self-reflect. We were all forced to do that. And you two are really good about that. I had not so much, because I'm forward. I'm a forward thinker, and I'm going to solve that problem. I don't care what, if I leave a few wrecks behind me, if somebody's, awash it, in the jetsam and flotsam, that's whatever. I'm not looking that way. So things that I reflected on, I think we all did. What have I been concerned about? And is that thing or things that I've been concerned about, is that really worth or have the importance and attention that I used to give it?
Hold that thought right there, because you said something when we were talking about the gift of change kind of topic here. And I want to hear Doc's perspective on this, because I think gifts are really a perspective thing. Gifts can come in many forms. Doc, what do you think about that? When we talk about the gift of change, what does it mean to you when you think perspective, and what type of gifts are different for all of us?
So that's a pretty deep question in and of itself. A lot of times when people hear the words gifts, they think tangible. Right?
Yeah, tangible.
They want to see it, touch it, feel it. But when I think gifts of compassion, love, gratitude, selflessness, giving back.
Yeah.
And so when you give those things freely, the gift that comes back is, for those that were here last night, that is a gift in itself.
Yeah.
Those relationships that were built upon honesty, integrity, loyalty. I mean, we've had our ups and downs. We've had disagreements. We've had agreements, but we've always been able to come back together and work through whatever issues that we needed to work through. That itself is a gift. And I'm currently reading a book on how to train an employee, and it really dives deep into emotional intelligence.
Okay.
Right? Oftentimes, we don't ever see the true gift because our emotional intelligence isn't where it needs to be in life. And what I mean by that is you have three different types of people that have an emotional intelligence problem. You have the bully, the one that comes in, it's my way or the highway. You have one that comes in and says, that gets bullied, right, by the bullier, who says, all right, no problem, I'll do it. And they never speak their mind. And then you have the one that's able to balance the both, the ones that are assertive but are willing to listen. And once you have an emotional intelligence that is able to walk that fine line, that's when you really, truly begin to excel as a leader, as a business owner. Whenever you set aside your emotion for the greater good of your team is a gift in itself. And
man, that's deep right there. That's super deep. Emotional intelligence.
I pre-warned y'all that this was a deep ass question.
Dude, I'm telling you, dropping some like Gandhi shit on us, man.
So throughout reading that is what I have learned has changed in me over this year.
Yeah.
I really feel like I've upped my level of emotional intelligence. Overseeing a group of people on one business spectrum and overseeing another group of people on a whole different business spectrum, right? So many people know I run two separate companies, and both of those companies are so far apart, like they would never be interchangeable.
Yeah.
Right? And so for me to be able to switch gears throughout the day, and you have to have some sort of emotional intelligence.
It's got to be fluid.
You have to be. You can get angry and lose control. You can become disgruntled and sad and lose control. Or you can harness those. I like to use an acronym called HALT, right? And I don't know if any of you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
HALT. HALT stands for hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. Okay? And if you're ever feeling any of those four emotions, you should stop what you're doing and evaluate the current situation.
Pump the brakes.
Pump the daggone brakes. Stop. Halt. Right? Stop what you're doing. And the reason that's important for your emotional intelligence is because you're now thinking irrationally and not rational, right? Because your feeling of hunger, anger, loneliness, and tiredness is what's going to prompt your thought process.
You know, that's solid, dude, because I felt all of those today. You know what I mean?
I'm taking some notes, man. I go through that a lot. And you know, that's one thing I'm so thankful about this group, is because, you know, things you know are hurting you and things you don't know are hurting you. And that's a really big part of being part of this team, part of this alliance, is that I mean, that's so simple. And I love that simplicity of it, because there's something that's truly in alignment about that.
Yeah.
You know, the concept and the acronym, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Check yourself, look in your 6, you know, get control of your breathing. And then, you know, diffuse whatever those 4, one of those 4, maybe it's 3 of 4.
Yeah.
You know, they can all be happening together, right?
Yeah.
Diffuse that by stopping what you're doing. There's so much truth in that. And
this is a perfect segue into where I told you to keep that thought, which was, are you keeping the attention you need on the positive or the negative things? As a business owner, we all know our attention is something everybody wants. Vendors, employees, clients, phone calls, texts, emails, right? So, you know, Casey asked the question, is that thing you were concerned about this year, or whatever that was that you were concerned about, more than one thing, are you giving the proper attention to it? Because when the time comes and you have to halt, is it an attention that's a pro, or is it attention that's a con, right? Because we all know the cons cost us money as business owners, right? We had a little issue today where we had to pump the brakes on a job site, and we had to walk outside and take a breath of fresh air and say, hold up, let's stop. So it's easy to get lost in the doom and gloom. It's easy to, you know, if you look around what's going on in the world, social media, news, whatever it is, it's really, really easy to get sucked into all of either, if you feed yourself the positive. It's really easy to get sucked into all the negative if you feed yourself the negative. So we were talking beforehand about this, and, you know, the little section of stuff that Casey put together here, what I took away was very simply, you are what you eat. And that's either mentally, physically, spiritually. So as you progress through, I mean, we got 5 days left to work, business days, or 8, whatever it is, in 2020. As you progress into 2020, kind of repeat that to yourself. You are what you eat, whether that's social media, whether that's news, whether that's, you know, the actual food. You know, Doc, you mentioned something 2 weeks ago on one of the lives where you said you stopped yourself from picking your phone up immediately when you wake up in the morning. Now, I'm a knucklehead, and every time I pick my phone up right when I wake up, I go, Doc doesn't do this.
Well, because we're trying to change, and here's why I do that. Because say you pick your phone up first thing in the morning and you scroll through whatever you scroll through, and what if it's not good news? What if it's something you didn't want to see? Well, that sets the tone for your whole entire day, right? Whereas if I don't look at the bullshit, and I do my routine of saying what's up to my God, and reading a little, 10 or 15 pages of a book that I'm reading, or eat and have my little cup of coffee and gather my thoughts together, so I become mentally stronger. So that when I do look at a news feed or a social media platform, or my emails from a disgruntled client or whatever it may be, I'm already mentally strong enough and focused enough that I can prepare myself to how I want to respond. Because if I wake up and the first thing in the morning I see is a bunch of trash, well, I'm going to, you know what I mean? I'm going to have to resync my whole daggone day, and I'm going to focus on that.
If you can.
Yeah. You know, Casey wrote in some of our notes here tonight, wake up your superpower. What a better little kind of tagged in there while we're talking about waking up and starting yourself mentally. Wake up your superpower. We all carry it. And in 2020, the version of us in 2020, the question we all want to ask ourselves, and we continually ask each other and ourselves this, are we better in 2020 than we are or were in 2019? I will say without a shadow of a doubt, I'm a better business owner. I'm a better husband. I'm a better father. I'm a better friend, because I've been able to learn from the Alliance, the positive impact that I can have with other people. It's amazing to see the transition, just all three of us that we've had this year alone. Forget the doom and gloom portion of it, because we decided as a group and as an alliance that we weren't going to focus on the doom and gloom. That doesn't mean we were careless. That doesn't mean we didn't understand the consequences and things like that. We were safe as business owners, but we didn't focus on that. And I love that, Doc, that you have trained yourself and retrained yourself to start with your own version of your day instead of letting someone else start your day for you. I love that.
Yeah. And I'm going to pick up on that, Jeff, if I can, because I used to let the 2019 me.
Yeah.
Last thing I would do, first thing I would do, I'd go in, I'd secure all my emails because I wanted that little box checked off mentally.
Yeah.
And I'd want to make sure that I didn't leave an email unreturned, or if a phone call was unreturned, an email follow-up. You know, I was just very diligent about it. And mornings and evenings I had set aside. But the problem with that is you're allowing whatever grumpy message. You get some lawyer who's got their ass hairs in a twist because, you know, an I is in the wrong place in a document, or a T is not whatever, right? And you're going to let that hate mail dictate how you rest at night. Or alternatively, you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to let some other hate mail determine how you're going to function in the day. And you're absolutely right, Doc. It can totally jack your day. So I did that exact same thing when you and I spoke about it. You know, I write my goals down first thing every morning. Now I do it at night. That's the first and last thing I do. And the reason why is because I'm gonna put my mind in a mindset of goal achievement. And chances are, if you're watching this, if you're a viewer, if you're part of this Patriot Business Alliance and the Rockwall Veterans Business Alliance, you are a Patriot business owner, you're a veteran business owner, and you're a high achiever. You're a doer. And to sit in place that doesn't compute with high achievers, right? But the thing about it is, neither does the first content that you consume in the day is, you know, hate mail. And that's not it may not be hate mail, but it's a problem. It's a problem that you need to solve. And that's not the first thing that you need to do. And I started thinking about, you know, and I got this idea in part from you, Doc, but, you know, like, create something good before you start consuming the problems of the day, right?
Oh,
create something good.
Say that again. That's
create
huge.
something good before you start consuming the problems of the day.
Wow.
Right. And I know you guys get tired of my 4 a.m. posts about hustle juice and coffee and whatever, but who doesn't love coffee? Damn it. Right? Coffee up, hustle up. It's already 2021. Go have another War Machine espresso or Van Zandt Coffee Co., veteran owned, by the way, and get your workday going, right? And then start solving the problems of the day. But give yourself, like Doc said, that 15 or 20 minutes with your book, with your Bible, with your whatever it is, your meditation. But that way you're creating something good, right, before you start consuming the problems of the day. And that was brilliant advice, Doc. And, you know, like, it's still not quite a habit yet, but I noticed that the days that, you know, I backslide a little bit, I'm like, hey man, today was a little off. And I go, you know why? It's because I didn't do that. I didn't do what Doc said.
Yeah. And I'm not, and trust me guys, I'm not 100%. I do that every single day, right? I still fail. But I do catch myself.
I know Rochelle told us it's okay though.
Yeah. So she she's like, no, Mike's full of shit. But how do you create a habit, right? You gotta start somewhere. And so if I do it 4 or 5 times out of the week, out of 7, well, shit, man, I'm making progress, because what they tell me, it's progress, not perfection.
Well, and it's about innovation and creativity, right? So when you create a habit, you're being innovative with your mindset. We always talk about it. Your mindset is your playground. Change your playground, or change your mindset, change your playground, right? We've heard that 100 times on here. But the thing about what we're trying to drive home right now is that get yourself into good habits. Good habits are where your mindset starts. Good habits are where your health starts. Good habits are where your friends come from. Bet you can count on one hand the real true friends you have, right? We have a lot of colleagues. We have a lot of people we're friends with, but you know, in this alliance, we call each other brother and sister. There's a lot of stellar people that hang in this alliance. And if you're not a part of it and you're watching this and you're wondering what the heck is the RBBA or what's the PBA, that whatever it is, you got to just jump in and get involved. You know, there's no better time than now to make a change. So I love that innovation and creativity, creating good habits, man. The opportunity to become a better version of ourselves with time to self-reflect and dig into what could work and innovate new ways to work. So never stop building yourself. You know, we're all Lego sets in my mind. We're all Lego sets, right? Get the one with 10,000 pieces. That's the Starship Destroyer or whatever. You put a little one here, you put a little one there, you put a little one here. Next thing you know, you got something really good to build off of, right? I think the reward for something like that is now we can take the good things we're doing for ourselves and apply those to other people. We can give back the good that others have given to us. Yeah.
Well, another great thing about that is like if you're continuously counting your small wins and your small victories and you're owning those, when something does bad happen, that bad thing doesn't hurt as bad.
Yeah.
Right. That failure doesn't last as long because we have already become mentally tough and emotionally intelligent enough to be able to grab that mistake, grab that failure, look at it, work through it, and say, you know what? I still got another 15 wins under my belt today over this one negative action that happened. I know back in the day, I could focus all day long on woes and horror stories, right? And it could really zap your energy. It can zap your whole mindset. Your whole day can just be off. And what happens inevitably is it affects those around you. You show up at home and your 4-year-old runs over and all she wants to do is tell you how great her day was and blah, blah, blah. And all I wanted to do was peace and quiet and not hear anything, right? Because I was so caught up in the failure of the day. Whereas you talked about change this year and how we've changed positively. That was one of the things that I've done was like, I know that I'm going to leave my work and my madness in the truck. So when I walk through the front door of my home, I am the father that they want me to be. You know what I'm saying? Like I walk in and I'm happy, joyous, free. Even if there is something still bugging me, I just put it in my pocket and I'm gonna hold on to it and I'll work through it. I'll be able to call on any of the alliances of the friends that I have out there and say, man, this is what's bugging. And what's really great about having an alliance of people is I share certain things with certain people, right? There are certain individuals that I run with that don't know everything about me. And there's a reason behind that because some people are more experienced in one of my issues than somebody else. So I wouldn't suggest that you put all of your eggs in one basket, right? We've all heard that analogy.
Yeah.
Use your alliance to your benefit. If you know one of your guys are super seller at closing and you're having issues with closing, that's who I'm going to talk to. If I know somebody is really great at writing and reviewing contracts, well, fuck, I don't want to talk to the closer. I need to talk to the guy that's writing contracts all the time and making sure that I'm up to speed. So that's really the beauty of aligning yourself with like-minded individuals is so that you have these different cups to be able to drink out of.
Yeah, alignment's key, man. Casey, why don't you hit on real quick? You got something here that's really. We also learned that the time for ourselves is not bad. Like we've all had a little bit more time where we're not out at the bar or out at dinner every night or whatever, and discuss with us so we all learned that time for ourselves is not bad. It's not in an opposition to what we were trying to accomplish. It's the fact that it's in alignment with what we are trying to do to be better than we were yesterday. So this alliance is about aligning ourselves with like-minded people.
Yeah. And I'll tell you one thing that I feel, and maybe it's because the distance that we now operate from, right? I feel actually closer to this entire group than I did a year ago when we saw each other every month. And probably, but let's face it, a lot more than that because we saw each other more than one time a month at every other chamber function, right? Yeah. Right? So we saw each other like a hell of a lot, right? I mean, we worked together a lot, but I actually feel like I know this group better. I mean, for one thing, this group has grown in an unprecedented way, which it was not doing last year, right?
Yeah.
This group is either one of two things has happened. People are bored AF and they want to look at our three ugly mugs, on Thursday night. Probably not. Probably would rather just, zonk out on Netflix or YouTube, watch Tiger King again, right? Or what's going on here is in alignment with what they want to do, because they're like, I want to do something to be better than I was yesterday, right? I want to be the champion of the world, and I'm not going to do that if I don't get up, write my goals down, eat my Wheaties, beat Rannigan to the gym, et cetera, right? Coming for you, dog. I'm telling you.
Hey, man, you know what? I'm excited to get towards the end of this tonight, because I'm so excited to share all the successes our alliance has had this year. But you're dead on right there, man. The reason we've had so much success as an alliance is the fact that we stand by each other. We support one another. If we see a brother or sister that's having troubles in business, if I don't have the answer, someone else does, right? So align yourself with the people. Go back to what I just said 10 minutes ago. You are what you eat. That goes with the same thing with your friends, the people you surround yourself with. Doc and I have a similar history with a little bit of addiction and all this other stuff. You think that we were on a pedestal above the other people that had the same addictions as us? No, we were shitbags just like they were, because we were hanging with shitbags. So I don't mean to get all crazy and fired up about it, but I'm telling you right now, the only reason I'm sober today is because I wanted to do it for my damn self, right? And I'm not slinging the sobriety thing, but I'm telling you, surround yourself with people who you want to be like.
Yeah.
It's just gonna happen for you. You got to be in the same room with people that are smarter than you. If you're in the room and you're the smartest dude, Doc said it in his live video today. What's the point?
Yeah. What are we doing here? What? And that's what we really want to preach on is, what are we doing here? What are you doing here? Because we all heard the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Absolutely.
And for the longest time, I refused to drink the Kool-Aid, right? I was like, nah, fuck that. I can do it. It was a big me mentality. And once I began to understand that it's a we mentality, my whole attitude, my whole outlook on life changed. My relationships changed. The business aspect changed. And everything changed for the greater good. And I'll be perfectly candid with you cats. This shit was not easy for me.
Nah.
Like 1,000%. This thing was hard. I was begrudgingly to it. Oftentimes I tell people, man, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just doing it. You know what I mean? Because it's true. But
True.
Today, the more that we do it, the more that we do it.
It's true about me. I'm not calling you out. I mean, I'm just like, you're just doing.
Just doing and making things happen, because that's what it takes, right? Consistency, follow through, doing it every single day and creating those habits that are hard to create. Casey said he wants to beat Mike to the gym. Well, shit, brother, come on. I'm loving that, because when you say that to me, it makes me go, well, I guess I should be heading to the gym real quick, right? So I love the fire. I love the emotion that we've created amongst this core group of people. But I'm with Jeff, man, we're fixing to drop some stupid, great information about the successes that our alliance has brought together here in Rockwall County. I'm telling you what, son, this shit was amazing last night.
That alliance right there.
Yeah. Here's a question for you real quick. We've talked do you guys feel like we want to dig into gratitude, or do you think right now it's kind of, we've dug into it enough? Because that's kind of our next topic, but I'm excited to get to these stats.
Let's get to the stats.
Yeah, let's talk
about the W's.
All right, so here's the deal. I'll just make this quick. Be grateful and be thankful. We'll move on from that. So here's the first person that we want to give a little shout out to. Our good friend, Chris Dorward. He's a fellow Marine. He's got a law enforcement background. We met last night and we had a whiteboard party. And the whole purpose of it was just to be in the room with like-minded individuals and talk about nothing but the wins. Nothing but the wins, right? We wanted to stand up. Doc and I put the whiteboard behind us, and we just let all of our alliance members just kind of talk amongst each other, open forum. Chris Dorward stood up. We said, hey, Devil Dog, what happened in 2020 good for you? My man was was the top producer labeled by D Magazine in his industry. That's huge. Think about when someone posts on Rockwellian, I need a real estate agent. How many freaking people get, bing, 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 getting tagged or whatever. And I'm sure they're all great people. And I'm sure some of them aren't. But anyways, Chris, congrats to you, brother. We're proud of you, man. And I tell you what, dude, that's a huge accomplishment for you and your family. So kudos to you, brother. I love it.
Yeah, that was amazing. And that dude is a referral freaking king.
Machine.
I'm telling you what, man, that guy has thrown business to a ton of people that I personally know. He's thrown a ton of referrals my way. And he mentioned something last night, right, when he was speaking. And he says the only reason that he continues to send referrals to the people that are amongst his alliance is because he trusts us enough to represent him and the follow through that comes from it, right? So that's why it's so important that when you surround yourself with the same individuals, that we have enough trust and confidence that if I say, hey, contact Chris Doran as your realtor, I have the utmost confidence that he's going to take care of my friend, my client, just as well as if I were a real estate agent. And that is so, so important that when you send out referrals to people, that you're not referring to people that don't make the phone call, that don't do the follow-up, that don't treat your client as if it was your own. And so he mentioned that, and I can't tell you how imperative that is when you send out referrals to people, that you better be treating your referrals as if you are that business that referred it to you.
Right. You're vouching, right? You're vouching for that. And you got to honor that and just treat them like they're millionaires, man. Just treat them like they're millionaires and it'll be fine.
Speaking of millionaires, let's talk a little bit about millionaires. So here's another little something that we learned last night within our business alliance here. We had almost 8 businesses that topped 1 million plus in revenue in what some would call the worst year for business ever. Yeah, give it up.
Yeah, baby.
That's freaking huge.
Here's something that I think we do well and we need to do better. But we all grew up with this middle class mindset, this right? Have just enough. You ought to go to law school. That way you have a little something, right? Now, there's a different reason that I went to law school because
you look good in a suit.
Well, you can put lipstick on any pig, dude.
You can't do math. That's why what you told me is that you sucked at math.
I sucked at math, and I was a roofer for 30 minutes in Houston, Texas in 1979, and I knew I was never doing that shit again.
You're like, nope, I'm out.
I'd rather go break ice on the damn Great Lakes.
Hey, let's not pass over this, guys. Any company that hits $1 million in revenue, if you're a business owner, that means you know the importance of that. You know the difficulty in it. It's easy to make $100,000. It's kind of challenging to make $500,000. It's damn tough to make $1 million. I didn't make it this year. I'll be candid. I'll be honest, transparent. I didn't do it this year. It's my goal for next year, though. I'm going to double my damn business. But just that alone is $6 to $7 million worth of revenue created within this alliance here. Now, that doesn't say that they got all their business from us, but I guarantee you there were some helpful pointers and tips that helped them get to that point. So,
sure. And we need to talk about money, right? We need to not be afraid to talk about money because we grew up in a society. Oh, that's not polite. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about religion. We don't talk about money. But you know what? That's all a myth, man.
Yeah,
that's all a myth. You want to talk about politics? Get on Parler or get on Facebook or get on Twitter, right? And just watch that train wreck. But I ain't down with that because the government ain't going to save you, okay? Right? What's going to save you is not being broke, right? So if there is another goddamn global pandemic or you're doing great, you're punching above your weight class, you're stepping into the ring, and then bam, just like that, you got a broken back and you're out of the game for 2 weeks. You got a doctor telling you don't walk, don't try to stand up for 2 weeks, right? Jeff, you had your back broke. Northcutt had his back broke. I've had my back broke. I don't know about you, Doc. I know you've broken your ankle, but you've been down, right? You've been down. You weren't allowed to work, right? And people don't want to talk about money, right?
I love talking about
Well,
money.
you got
I was about to say, this love talking about money.
If we're going to talk about expanding, right? And it's just not expanding your network, because your network is your net worth. We all know that one. But we've also got to be good and comfortable with talking about money, because that's how we're going to learn from each other how to get to the $1 million mark, right?
But the key to it though is not chasing the money, right? Doing all the other things that we talked about for what are we at, 9 months now?
9 months.
Not chasing the dollar, but doing all the other things, giving back, being
of service.
Yeah, being of service. So,
still being in the rescue business, right?
Speaking of service, we had 5 people this year create a new business from the ground up this year.
That's a win, baby.
So again, if you're a business owner and you took that leap and you knew what it took to create your business, it's huge for someone to step out and have a leap of faith.
Yeah.
I personally didn't even realize it or think about it until the guys brought it up to me last night. But as of this month, almost to the date, I have officially been my own business owner for 1 year without any other financial assistance from anybody other than my damn self, right? So for people to start their own business this year, that's amazing.
Jeff, I'm telling you, that is huge, because you left that proverbial good job in the city.
Yeah.
I know it's in San Diego, and I know that there was some issue. Yeah. I get you. But the fact that you were like, I'm ready to make this leap. And it is a leap of faith, right? When you're like, I'm going to take my one goddamn farmer, and who's at war with the city of Frisco, right? Because he still wants to raise mules and stuff. And I'm going to go start a law firm. I mean, that is a big, scary goal. And that's one thing that Doc is always good about pushing us towards, right? Pushing you towards those goals. He's the big idea guy. He's the big.
Well, that's what I was just about to capitalize and talk about. A lot of the people that started that new business, it came from the Alliance's encouragement to those people.
Without question, 100%.
You know what I mean? So I can want all day long, but if I don't have somebody else saying, "Hey, man, you can do it. Don't worry about the pitfalls. Don't worry about the failures. Don't worry about the mistakes. Stay consistent. Stay the path. Stay the course. Keep writing down your goals. Keep writing down your plans." And let me tell you what, fellas, when I turned 30 years old, I made it. I wrote it down. I said, I will be a fucking millionaire by the time I'm 40. So I'm happy to say that I was one of those companies that broke $1 million in 2020.
I love it.
Right. So, but I had planted that seed 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. But you know what caused me not to hit it sooner is I had a me mentality.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to do it. But once I got that mentality out of the way, that selfishness out of the way, and I started aligning myself with people that are like, yeah, man, you can do it. And this is how. And when I actually started taking action on the how is when it became a reality. And I think that's a lot of times where people stumble is they get caught right at taking that fucking action step, because that's where that's where shit gets real.
You gotta have courage. You don't have to have
what you gotta have is you gotta have an uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah.
Because when you're uncomfortable, that's when change really truly takes place. I've been saying it for a long time. I live by it, but I'm damn gonna say it again. Check this out. Change comes in uncomfortable situations.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to make the jump, but also don't be a fool and don't plan for it, right? Mm-hmm. If you're planning, just like Doc said, he planted that seed and he's been planning in his mind and in his actions for 10 years. Dude, that's phenomenal, Doc. Going way back with you from ROTC, them ugly ass uniforms, where you're at now, dude. I'm so freaking proud of you, brother. I love it, man. I love it.
It's just insane. Easy does it. You know what I mean? The work is worth it. All those little things that I keep saying to myself daily. Yeah, it's finally paying off.
I love it.
Hey, let's take a little left turn, man, and talk about there was 8 businesses within our Alliance group that had their best year ever.
Best year.
That is so insane for me to wrap my brain around when the government tried to shut us down and quarantine us and say, you can't work, you can't shop, you can't. There were so many.
Walmart and Amazon and the big box. That's all fine.
That's it. Everybody, yeah. Unless you were Fortune 500, you couldn't participate.
Yeah.
And you guys know our mindsets. We're like, hold my beer, watch this shit, right? And so we said, you know what? You can't tell us no, because anytime somebody tells me that I can't, it fires me up to show you that I can.
Yeah.
And so that it's remarkable. 8 businesses, 8 of them had their best year ever.
So let me put some perspective to that real quick. So just to give you an idea, I'm going to pull up real fast. It won't take too long. Our numbers as far as how many people we have in the RVBA. And as of right now, there's 60. Wait a minute. What happened here? Somebody jacked something up. I'll get back to it. Go ahead. I want to put it in context, right? With what we just talked about.
So I'm going to rattle off those names, right? So obviously Black Level said best year ever.
Black Level.
We had All Care Comfort and AC. Best year ever. We had the Ashmore Law Firm. I think you added how many new employees to your staff this year?
3.
3 new hires in 2020 when people were firing and furloughing. You're hiring and helping people pay their doggone mortgage. You know what I'm saying? So you had Doc's Roofing. You had a mobile drug testing company. You had Stephen Cullen with Knucklehead Podcast coming out.
Yeah.
Who else did we have out there? Stacey Maynard, I believe, had one of her great years. We had Amy Johansson come out and start her own freaking entrepreneur advisory board. We had Dan Daly with Assured Electrical break through and hire 3 more employees. I'm telling you, the synergy that was created this year when we were supposed to be scared and afraid of death.
Yeah.
We looked death in the eyes and said, "You're my bitch." And we ran right through it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we do. When you got a team of motivators and people that are consistent, fired up, and have the same ether that we share together, it's just remarkable what can happen. And
we all sit and eat at the same table, right? We all sit together, we eat at the same table, and it goes back to what I said earlier, and I really think this is true. You are what you eat. Yeah. You have to feed your mind positive. You have to feed your body with the positive. You have to be around positive people. And I'm telling you what, man, I'll just be honest with you. My business and everything that I've done is better because I'm a part of this. That's just the bottom line too. Like Doc said, you can only do so much as I want to do this and I want to do that. I hired my first full-time employee and it was so scary for me. But you know what? I had to become we so we can succeed together.
You can't do it alone, right? Doc figured that out. And Doc has shown us something to model, to replicate, and then we can do something similar, right? We can expand. But if you don't multiply yourself, right? Here's a statistic. 25 million, I think it's 25 million small businesses in the United States of America, single owner LLC.
That's a boatload, man.
Right? And so that means a technician was like, I can do this better. I'm out. I'm taking my farmer and I'm going to Frisco and I'm starting a law firm. Or I'm leaving San Diego and I'm going to put a wrap on my truck and I'm going to hustle better than you. Because hell, I'm driving this ship anyway. Yep. If I'm going to do all the work, I might as well
get that money.
Make that money.
Money's not a bad thing, folks.
Let's talk about the Benji. But here's the thing. I always got time for a Franklin. Always got time for a Franklin. But here's the thing. Doc, right? You cannot really fill up your pipeline. You cannot onboard and grow, right, without people, right? And you got to take them with you. You got to show them the ropes. You got to, because you can't get where you want to go if you don't take them with you and show them how to be you, right?
So real quick, back to I want to put context to what we're doing with these stats, because the start of Q4, we said we wanted to be our last RVB Live. We wanted to share with the world the successes of the Alliance. So 20% of our members either started a new business or had their best year ever. That is a significant number. Think about that. That you break that into 5 sections, right? That means the other 80% are helping that 20% out. That's what we're all about. That 80% helped me get where I'm at. So just remember, like, you got to align yourself. We mentioned it tonight. You have to align yourself with the people that you want to, you know, we went back. If you think about our superhero segment, emulate the great, right? So find yourself a Doc, find yourself a Casey, find yourself, you know, somebody who you can latch onto that can really help you get over that hump, because we all need it, no matter what point of business we're in.
Yeah, you know what? That is so true, because if you're not, you know, getting yourself, an Avengers team, if you're not getting yourself an alliance, you can't figure it out, man. You know, I'll give you an example. You know, there's a book called Think and Grow Rich, and Napoleon Hill befriended all these brilliant, you know, Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, this, that, and the other. Those business, I mean, do you think Jeff Bezos doesn't have an alliance? Seriously? He started Amazon selling books out of his office upstairs with $0. Somebody mentored him. Somebody helped him rise, right? Yeah. Right? And so did Apple, right? Steve Jobs got canned twice from Apple. Twice. Not once, right? Twice. He made E4 at Apple twice, right? You know what I'm saying, though, right? Okay, but they hired him back because, damn it, he's good, right? But he could not do it. He could not get Apple where Apple is. Everybody's got one of these damn things or a copycat in their pocket since 2000. It was an obscure computer company that was only cool for nerds, artists, and schools, right? Yeah. That's it. And then they figured it out. The iPod, the iPhone, the iLife, the iWhatever, right? And now everybody's just drinking the crack cocaine. Give me some iLife. You know, but seriously, right? They didn't do that without a team.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm sure they had a bunch of think tanks. Some brainstorming went down, some arguing down, some, you know what I mean? And I promise you, some of the best brainstorming activities I've ever been is when people got fired up with emotion.
Yeah.
No way that's going to work. When people started really becoming raw and you started peeling back the
onion. I'm not doing this every week for the next blank, Doc.
Yeah, I know, but I said, KC, shut up and ride, baby.
We're rolling, baby. We're rolling.
That's right. We're rolling. Just throttle down, man. Just throttle down.
Hey, so let's 2020 in the rearview mirror. That's been our topic tonight, right? And if you noticed, we didn't really harp too much on the woe is me. This whole thing has been positive. This whole thing has been instrumental to success. This whole thing that we do as an alliance and as your leadership for this is to make others better. You know, you got any saved rounds before we close out, fellas?
Man, I can't again. You know, I say this, that I can't thank you guys enough. I know you guys like to give a lot back to me and say, you know, doc this and doc that, but really, I just pull from what you guys say, interpret it in my own kind of psycho chaos. I love to say I live in organized chaos. I am a huge visionary. I have a ton of big ideas, and I'm just so thankful that you guys are willing to entertain some of my fucking crazy ideas. Like I really am, because sometimes I think you guys may look at me and go, Doc, that's a little nuts. And I'm like, I know, but it'll work.
Yeah, but that's the challenge. We accept.
Hold my beer and watch
all in. You got to go all in.
And so that is where I'm super grateful for. I want to, Darren Shoes commenting. He's like, yo, this is one of my best year. So that's what, right there, when I say gratitude, that's what I'm grateful for.
Absolutely.
It's none of my successes. It's when the people on these comment threads are out there and they're saying, man, this is what I did, and it's because of you guys. right? And that is what is so freaking huge. And I just want to say I cannot wait for 21 to freaking kick off. I've already kicked off 2021. I don't know about you guys. Like I'm already in like fucking January of 21 right now.
Had New Year's party the other day. It was. I'm good.
Yeah, like I'm already. The clock's already hit midnight. Like
I had my black eyed peas, dog. I'm good.
Like, we're ready to go.
We're good, man.
Get over quick enough.
But you can't wait until January 3rd or whenever the national championship is played now to wipe Santa Claus out of your eyes and go, holy shit, I got to get to work on quarter one. Because quarter one, I'm going to tell you what. Look, if you've ever done farm chores, I mean, here's one thing I do know. I'm too lazy to be a damn farmer, okay? And you know what convinced me of that? Farm chores, okay? Because you never get a day off. But that's what business is like, right? Mm-hmm. And if you like Ford doesn't have the American market anymore. Why? GM doesn't have the American market anymore. Why? Because they take 2 weeks off. They take 2 weeks off. And they shut every factory in America down for 2 weeks, going back to 1974. How can you do that when your competitors, they don't shut the factory down, they double down on the workflow, right? I'm not saying blow off the holiday and don't do that. I'm just saying you've got the seeds you are planting now, you're going to harvest in January, right? Those little seedlings are going to spring up in January, and you've got to keep planting.
And make sure not that you're just planting the seed, but you're planting the seed in the right fields.
Yeah. You've got to, because that's so true. You're like, this could be the 2 weeks that you're planting the seed at the bar, right? Yeah. Hey, man, I'm just going to hang out at the Londoner for a while. And we all love Will, and he's a great guy, and he's part of this group. But he supports Casa. He's done some cool stuff, right? On the other hand, we want to support that restaurant, but don't go there and support your bad. Don't plant seeds in your bad habits.
Yeah, right? don't plant fruit in the cow shit, right? So, I guess you could.
What if don't plant fruit in cow shit? Got it.
Yeah. In other words, don't shine up a turd.
Man, hey, you know what? I gotta say thank you to you guys. Thank you to our listeners, our followers, all the people that are involved in our alliance. Without our alliance, we're not an alliance. So the people that showed up last night to the whiteboard party, thank you so much. I mean, there was I don't know how many people were there, whatever, but to take personal time out of your personal schedule to go and mingle with other people with like-minded goals and ambitions and stuff like that, that's where you're going to succeed. So I love what Casey said earlier. I just thought I was too busy. Like anybody who knows me, I always tell them that's a bunch of bullshit. So at a stage, you're going to have to look yourself in the mirror and really take an inventory of your time.
Yeah.
Go back and see how much time you waste on stupid shit. I can tell you, I still waste time on stupid shit. But at the end of the day, find yourself an alliance, be a part of ours. We told you guys 9 months ago, we're going to create a movement, and we are creating a movement. All of these stats we just told you guys, millions of dollars are floating around in this alliance. The relationships is the most important part of all of it. That is what I'll end with tonight.
Hey, I want to follow up on that.
Go for it.
Do you know what the difference between contact and contract is?
One letter's missing.
R. And that R stands for relationships.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Right, so get after it.
That's huge.
Was that in your damn pocket this whole time? Your damn pocket this whole time.
Oh man, hey, appreciate y'all taking the time for the last umpteen number of weeks every Thursday to do this with me. I couldn't do it without you guys. You have motivated me to be a better man and a better business owner. Thank you both.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Semper Paratus, Semper Fi Marine, Semper Fi Devil Doc. And, one last thing. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays. We love you guys. Thanks for watching.
Right. Absolutely.
Here, let's go ahead and win the day. Seize the day.
Carpe diem.
Carpe diem.
Let's own it.
Y'all be good.
Can't be good. Be good at it.